Welcome to our solstice practice. I'm quite excited about having the energies of the Great Conjunction with us, which has been building over the last several days. Um, and solstice blessings to you, Josiah, and hi everybody. Oh my goodness, on YouTube where my head's cut off. I'm really not so great at getting all these angles exactly how I want them, but in the new year, I'll do better. So I'm learning as I go. Let's dive in. This has been like the dark half of this year has been very dark, very shadowed, in that there's been so much obscurity. A lot of people are feeling anxious. A lot of people have been through just unimaginable difficulties this year. And so to welcome the light amidst these conditions is to truly remember what our ancestors valued about this day. This day spoke to the dawning of hope for another year and spoke to the return of the light and the promise of warmth. And amidst the winter season, when they're rationing their food and firewood is hard to come by unless they've stocked it all up, and any number of different calamities could happen, our ancestors were extraordinarily grateful for this swinging around of the sun toward a brighter day and toward the return of the warm weather, the promise of another harvest and planting season, the promise of a potential future. And I think a lot of us in the modern era don't really sufficiently appreciate how difficult winter was in the past, how difficult it was for people to sustain themselves. And even to this day, in areas and regions where there is a tremendous amount of poverty, we have that same problem. I think a lot of people don't fully appreciate just how significant it is for us to have this movement toward the light. And so let's take a moment today to connect with our ancient ancestors, to connect with the memory of the hard times of the past that our ancestors had to survive in order for us to be here. And let's make the connection also to the promise of what is to come. And even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and you're turning toward the dark half of your year, still, this is a valuable contemplation. And let's call upon the Dear Mother as we're honoring her in this, her month of December. We'll be with her the rest of this week and next week. And then in January, we turn to working with Prajnaparamita, the mother of the Buddhas. But for now, let's rest like the sun in between the antlers of the Dear Mother. When the Dear Mother ascends the mountain, victorious in her splendor, she brings with her the elixir of the forest. With precious incense, fragrant and sweetly scented, the mountain is purified, the forest is purified, the waters are purified, the animals are purified, the deities are purified, the spirits are purified, the ancestors are purified, Our lineage is purified. Our homes are purified. Our families are purified. Our friends are purified. Our children are purified. My life force is purified. Your life force is purified. Obstacles removed, wounds are healed, good words are spoken. All around us is purified, is purified, is purified. And we're using the Field Guide deck this month for our divinations. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Two cards came out, and they're the Hawk and the Jaguar. How powerful is that? Wow. All right, I'm going to read them both because both came out in the same draw. So let's start with the Hawk. Let the ashes of outdated notions spark brighter ideas. Find the vantage point for a crystal clear overview and make plans for what's just around the corner. Take thoughtful action and welcome unexpected updrafts. And our words for the Hawk are steadying, anticipation, precision, discernment, loyalty, frailty, honesty, endurance, and agility. And then the Jaguar. And this is the beautiful black jaguar. Looks like a panther. Befriend the shadows and know how to relight the lantern. Can't make this up. We pulled this card on the solstice, relighting the lantern. Trust the power of instinct. Listen to what your heart, not your brain, is asking for. Get comfortable with every little bit of yourself and find your way back to the deep purr. And the words for Jaguar are honesty, subterranean, clarity, calculated, movement, instinct, intellectual ease, and grounding. And what comes up for me as I'm looking at this is I was just talking about this actually yesterday in the Via Carmen Pythia class. In the Mayan calendar, there are, you know, the sort of the representation of the male divine is the eagle, the tzikeen, and the representation of the female divine is the panther or jaguar, ish. And so I just think there's something really powerful here about the relationship between the male and the female. I'm not talking about the masculine and the feminine. Those are stereotypes in which I'm uninterested. I'm talking about the union of the two forces on earth that give life, that create the divine child who is born today, the sun. And so mother space and father time give birth to the sun, the divine child of the now. What a powerful divination. And let's keep in mind that that is the balance of perspective and groundedness, the balance of flight and what's the word? Hunting, like moving quietly through the, and low to the ground, or through the canopy of trees, that this is the balance between perspective and knowing. In the Dharma, we would say that this is the balance of compassion and skillful means. So today, let's both rise above and look at that big picture of how blessed we are. If you're watching this, if you're able to hear this, if you're able to interact with this broadcast today, you're blessed because you've made it. You've survived this very difficult year. And not everyone has survived this year. So we have to keep that in mind. That's a perspective. Any problem you have, anything you seem to think is important that's right in front of your face right now, really, whether it's bills or whether it's a conflict with a friend or whether it's a political thing or whatever, it really blanches in comparison to the fact that you made it. You're alive. You're here. And then we have the jaguar reminding us skill, strategy, stealth. We do not have to make every fight our own. We are allowed to walk away from things that hurt us. We're allowed to step aside from things that cause us harm. And we're allowed to defend ourselves. So let's go into that deep wisdom in our practice today. And if you've just been here for the short bit, thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you later. And if you'd like to stay on for Guanyin, Guanyin begins now. We're going to start with 3 prostrations before the shrine. And I can see here that my angle sets are there. You can maybe see Guanyin's face a little better if I do this. There. Now you can see her behind me. Okay. Red-tailed hawk hanging out in my front yard the last 3 days, says Mary Beth. And welcome, blessed Yule, to you, Lisa. And hi there. I see we've got Leona and Karen and other people here. So let's dive into Guanyin. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from this practice. And we're holding Christine, who's been having a hard time as she's recovering from surgery, Corey, who's recovering from COVID, and anyone else who's struggling or suffering, Paige, who is going through a very difficult time with her life. and anyone that you know who's struggling. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Omahu. 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 Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. Now let's do 108 recitations of Namo Guan Yin Pusa, and we're going to be awakening within our hearts that compassion space of Guan Yin to go out into the world for all beings, accepting none. Namo Guan Yin Pusa, 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 Nam mô Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát. 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. 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 Sometimes our obstacles in life feel insurmountable. They feel so strong. It can be hard to really understand why things happen the way they do. But when we can get that hawk's eye view perspective of the situation at hand, then we can begin to enact that bigger vision in our own lives. And then we can bring our strategic mind to the details of that with that jaguar kind of wisdom. So today, uniting that hawk and that jaguar is really about seeing that big picture, perceiving the big picture, and also being able to come right here to the present, to this moment, so that we are able to take calculated and wise steps. Don't let anyone rush you into deciding what you're supposed to do. And don't let anyone pressure you into being what they want you to be, rather than you being what you want to be. You are the one you have to wake up with in the morning. You are the one to whom you are responsible. And you are the one ultimately who dictates where your magic goes, what it serves, what agenda it serves, how it is created. And you can't really have any control over how your offerings in the world are received. People might like what you have to say, they might not. They might think you're, wise and wonderful. They might dismiss you. They might ignore you. They might be jealous of you and try to cast a little shade. They might find that they are resentful of you. They might feel like you're their guru. None of that is any good. None of it is important. None of it matters. What matters is, do you have the hawk's eye perspective on your own life so that you can see where the things you're doing right now will unfold for the benefit of others in the future? And are you able to get that jaguar wisdom in your life where you know who, what, and where you trust and where you give your energy? Just keep that in mind as we cross into this coming cycle of light and dark. You do you. 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, so that we don't get attached in our egos to anything we do actually being important. And instead, we keep our focus on, is what I'm doing part of the greater refinement of my own soul? Because whatever I have as the quality of contents in my soul is going to be what carries me into the future. Not any stuff I have, not any people I'm related to, not any circumstances in which I find myself. All those things will pass and fade. But your soul, that is what you take with you. So, 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum as we contemplate the next steps in our journey with Guan Yin and with our temple and with our spiritual practices and with our own soul's wholeness. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And please don't forget to drop your counts. Please don't forget to drop your counts in the comments below the broadcast. And let's dive into our thanking of the different teachers who have helped us. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Swasti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. And may we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, a bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And wishing everyone a splendid solstice. Be well, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.